The Vatican is often seen as a symbol of purity, faith, and divine order. But what if I told you beneath its polished marble halls and priceless stained glass windows lies something far older, far stranger, and far more secret than most believers could ever imagine? I'm not talking about a dusty old library or a few catacombs filled with saintly bones. I'm talking about a buried empire. An underground city of forbidden texts, sealed doors, and corridors where sunlight hasn't touched stone in over 1,000 years. And no, this isn't some Dan Brown novel. This is real, documented, and largely unexplained. Grab a flashlight, leave your assumptions behind, and whatever you do, don't lose the map. Because we're going deep under the city of God. Like this video and subscribe, because the secrets beneath the Vatican aren't just about the church. They're about history, power, and perhaps something not entirely human. Part 1, Vatican City, a nation hidden in plain sight. Before we go underground, we need to understand where we're standing. The Vatican isn't just a church, it's a country, a sovereign independent city-state. Vatican City, population around 800. Land area 0.2 square miles. Smaller than some shopping malls. And yet it has its own government, banking system, postal service, army, and even an intelligence agency. Yes, the Vatican has diplomatic immunity across most of the world. It sends ambassadors, holds assets in international banks, and has secret treaties with nations that haven't been made public in over 100 years. It operates with the rights of a sovereign power, but the mystery of a cult wearing the robes of faith while protecting something ancient beneath the floorboards. It has been called the world's smallest country, but its influence absolutely massive. And that matters, because when you control a nation, you don't have to answer to anyone. Not legally, not politically, and certainly not spiritually. So if there are things buried beneath Vatican soil, there's no audit, no press access, no outside authority that can demand a look. The Vatican answers to no one, except maybe the secrets it protects. Seems awfully convenient if you are looking to hide, say, the truth, or if you want to control the entire narrative from start to finish. Part 2, confirmed underground structures. Let's start with the facts, the surface level stuff, literally. Beneath St. Peter's Basilica is the Vatican Necropolis, discovered in the 1940s. It's a massive underground burial site containing mausoleums, tombs, and what's believed to be the grave of St. Peter himself. Tourists can visit a portion of it, but only under tight restrictions. Photos are mostly banned, guards walk with you, and some tunnels are conveniently labeled off-limits due to instability. Sure, that's probably the reason. After all, if you're trying to hide the literal skeletons in your closet, it helps when the floor conveniently caves in over them. But that's just the top level. Beneath even that is what insiders refer to as Level 2, a restricted zone. This area is not open to the public, not listed in official blueprints, and reportedly houses secret elevators, air filtration systems, and biometric scanners that look straight out of a Bond villain's lair. Some say Level 2 is where the silence begins, a forbidden archive so classified even most cardinals have never heard of it. It's the kind of place where secrets don't just sleep. They're buried like nuclear codes, with layer after layer of silence poured on top. Part 3. Inside the Vatican Archives. The Vatican Apostolic Archive, formerly known as the Secret Archive, has over 53 miles of shelving. That's more than 279,840 feet of secrets. That's over 35,000 bookshelves worth of classified knowledge. Let that sink in for a moment. That's longer than the Panama Canal and nearly the length of Manhattan Island. And no, there's no browse section. You can't stroll in and ask for the Lost Gospels like you're ordering a pizza. To get access, you must be an approved scholar, know exactly what document you're requesting, and then pray they say yes. If you don't know a document exists, too bad, you can't ask for it. Clever, right? It's like a menu at a restaurant where the best items are written in invisible ink. Confirmed contents include Galileo's trial records, official exorcism records, letters between popes and world leaders, including Mussolini and Hitler, and blueprints of cathedrals containing unexplained symbols, some pre-Christian, but that's just the tame stuff. Rumors mention a sealed book of pre-flood civilizations, ancient Atlantean maps carved in obsidian, and scrolls labeled only with Greek letters and the word forbidden. One former Vatican insider under pseudonym claimed there's a document from 1241 titled Angelus Externus, describing contact with a being not made by earth nor heaven. That same year, the Pope who reigned then, Gregory IX, died suddenly, cause unknown. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe he read something he wasn't supposed to. Where did these come from? Who's allowed to read them? And what would happen if the public ever did? Some say the answers could unravel not just church authority, but the entire foundation of modern civilization. Part 4. The Banned Books of the Bible. The Bible as we know it wasn't downloaded from heaven. It was edited, redacted, curated like a Spotify playlist, but instead of removing bad music, they removed cosmic truths. Over 40 books were stripped from the early Bible. Among them, the Gospel of Judas paints Judas not as a traitor, but as the only disciple who understood Jesus' true plan. The Gospel of Mary Magdalene, where Mary leads the apostles and Jesus speaks of divine duality. The Book of Giants details the Nephilim, half-human hybrid giants who allegedly ruled Earth before the flood. The Apocalypse of Peter, which gives a radically different version of the afterlife. These weren't minor footnotes. These were world-shattering contradictions that would unravel everything from priestly celibacy to the literal resurrection. And here's where it gets disturbing. Some of these books were rediscovered in full in the 1940s, buried in sealed jars in caves near the Dead Sea and in the Nag Hammadi Library. But others, whistleblowers claim the complete, unedited versions are locked deep within the Vatican's forbidden wing, untouched by light, unknown to public scholarship. Why keep them hidden? Because if these texts are real, and if they tell a different story of human origins, divine beings, and metaphysical laws, then the entire foundation of organized religion crumbles. Or maybe more dangerously, it evolves. Part 5, Alien Archives, Stargates, and the Vatican's Cosmic Obsession. Now we enter more dangerous territory, non-human contact. The Vatican runs one of the most advanced telescopes in the world, but not in Italy. It's in the Arizona desert. It's called the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope, located next to the Lucifer infrared device. Yes, that's the real name. Why does the Vatican own an observatory in Arizona? And why does it cooperate with an instrument named Lucifer, a high-powered infrared telescope designed to scan and detect faint, distant signals from deep space? Seems oddly specific for an institution that once jailed Galileo for saying Earth revolves around the sun. Let's connect the dots. Throughout history, some of the Church's most sacred art depicts otherworldly entities. Luminous figures in discs, winged beings inside glowing chariots, and messengers descending from the clouds with gear that looks eerily modern. Ancient paintings from church-funded artists show glowing discs in the sky, beings descending from above, and rays of light connecting Earth to heaven. Not symbols, witness reports disguised as religious art. In 1561, a mass sighting over Nuremberg, Germany was recorded in both church and military reports, described as a battle in the sky involving metallic spheres and cylindrical ships. Documents from that time were stored in the Vatican Archive. And according to at least one former Jesuit insider,
the Church has been tracking visitations for centuries. Some of the angels were never from heaven, but from the stars.
Were these just symbolic, or were they encrypted reports of extraterrestrial contact, sanitized through faith? There's more. A declassified Jesuit memo from 1927 allegedly describes a celestial visitor appearing in the skies above Rome, accompanied by intelligent communication in harmonic light. Whispers from inside the church say one sealed document describes a being of light who spoke in a language never heard before. Another Vatican record, never released to the public, is said to contain diagrams of what appear to be gateways, cosmic portals used by visitors of higher mind, records that have been guarded in secret for hundreds of years. Too far? Then why did the Vatican's lead astronomer say in 2014,
If we met an alien, we would baptize it.
What exactly do they know? Theologians debate whether these are metaphors. Ufologists don't. Pope John XXIII allegedly had a direct encounter with a glowing humanoid during a retreat in 1961. His personal secretary later described the being as radiating knowledge, but not of this earth. Did the Pope tell the world? No. He died 2 years later. Quietly, suddenly. Part 6. Prophecies, Bloodlines, and the Final Pope. Let's finish with prophecy. In the 12th century, St. Malachi wrote a chilling prediction called the Prophecy of the Popes. It listed accurately every pope from his time to the last one. In this prophecy, St. Malachi wrote,
In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there shall sit Peter the Roman, who shall feed the sheep amid many tribulations. And then the city of 7 hills shall be destroyed, and the dreadful judge shall judge the people. The end.
Many believe that final pope is Pope Francis. Is it just apocalyptic poetry? Maybe, but Francis has broken more traditions than any modern pope, questioning eternal damnation, welcoming interfaith doctrines, suggesting the concept of hell may be metaphorical, calling for a new global order, saying atheists may go to heaven, and even calling for interplanetary ethics. That last one makes a lot more sense if you believe the Vatican is already preparing for non-human contact, or already has. If the archives prove any of this, they'll never be released voluntarily. Because what's hidden beneath the Vatican isn't just ancient, it's dangerous. And maybe that's why the archives matter so much. Because if the old records confirm the prophecy or contain intelligence about future events, then the Vatican silence isn't just religious, it's strategic. So what's under Vatican City? A crypt? A vault? A message in a bottle from a pre-human civilization? Or maybe something we're not spiritually, politically, or psychologically prepared to handle? One thing is clear, where there is this much silence, there's usually something worth hiding. Comment below, what do you think is buried beneath the Vatican? Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because next, we're going deeper. And until next time, Necessary Evil Entertainment reminds you to be good or be good at it. Thanks for watching.